And finally, here is the last part of our chapter. We are going to do applications on the rules concerning the associated arcs. And before that, let's have this remark. Let's read it. We have that sine of x plus 2k pi is just sine of x, because as you see here, 2k pi represents an even number multiplied by pi as 6 pi or 8 pi or 4 pi or whatever, because any even number multiplied by pi means I'm going back starting with 0. First term is 2 pi, the second term is 4 pi, the third term is 6 pi. So any even number multiplied by pi will take me back to 0. Also, cosine of x plus 2k pi is the same, because 2k pi is going to be cancelled, because any even number multiplied by pi is equivalent to 0, while tangent of x plus k pi is always equal to tangent x, where k is any integer, because if I have tangent, for example, of x plus, let's say, 7 pi, whether even or odd, we will get the same answer. X plus 7 pi means x plus 6 pi plus pi. Then 6 pi is cancelled, and I'm talking about tangent of x plus pi. Let's use the help of the circle, trigonometric circle. Where is x plus pi? We are moving pi plus x as well. So let's start, because I'm moving plus pi, I start in the positive sense to reach pi, and then I have to move plus x, so I keep moving a little bit in the positive sense, and now I am in quadrant 3. And tangent in quadrant 3 is always positive, and tangent of x plus pi in quadrant 3 is always equal to tangent x, because as you know, the famous sentence all students take chemistry. Now let's try another number. For example, if I have tangent of x minus 5 pi, so as if I'm talking about x minus 4 pi minus pi. So as if I'm moving, I can cancel 4 pi because it's even. Now as if I'm moving tangent minus pi plus x. Let's change the color to make things clear. So I'm moving minus pi plus x, so I'm going to start in the negative sense to reach pi. So this is how I move minus pi. Now plus x, then I have to go back in the positive sense. So again, in the negative sense, I have minus pi as follows, and because I have plus x, I have to move back in the positive sense, which is anti-clockwise. And definitely again, I am in quadrant 3. So in all cases, I am in quadrant 3 and tangent is positive. So in all cases, for any integer k, tangent of x plus k pi is equal to tangent x. And now let's start applications on rules. Here is the first expression to simplify. Usually the question is simplify the following expressions, and here is A. A equals sine of x plus 10 pi plus cosine of x minus 20 pi plus sine of x plus 8 pi. So using the first remark, or the first and the second remarks, x plus 10 pi is gonna be cancelled, 20 pi is gonna be cancelled, and 8 pi is gonna be cancelled, whether negative or positive. Any even number multiplied by pi is gonna be cancelled. So I get sine x plus cosine x minus sine x. We cancel the opposites, and the final answer is just cosine x. The second expression is B equals to tangent x plus 7 pi minus tangent of 8 pi plus x. Now tangent of x plus 7 pi, as we told you here, tangent of x plus any number pi is just tangent x, and here is the proof, because it is indeed tangent of 6 pi plus pi plus x. 6 pi is even, it's cancelled. 8 pi is even, it's cancelled. Then I have tangent x plus pi, and again if we move on this circle, we are moving pi plus x. We move pi first, so plus pi in the positive means, in the positive sense. Now plus x, we keep on moving a little bit and we are in quadrant 3, then definitely it is positive tangent x, and this is cancelled, so I get minus tangent x, and the answer is 0. Now let's make more examples. And here is C. C is equal to sine pi minus x plus sine pi plus x minus sine of minus x. Now the question again is to simplify C to get rid of pi and to get the answer in terms of trigonometric functions of x only, without having pi with it. So it is sine of x plus sine minus sine of x plus sine of x. How did that happen? Let's use the help of the circle to know how things are happening. Don't forget, all students take chemistry. Now let's use colors. Sine of pi minus x, so pi is positive, so I have to move pi, here is pi, don't forget, in the positive sense. So I move pi like this, and then minus x. So I have to go back in the negative sense because x is negative. It has a minus sign before it. So again, I move pi in the positive sense because it is plus pi. Then I go back a little for an acute angle x in the negative sense, which is clockwise. Don't forget, this is the negative sense and this is the positive sense. Now, so I am here in quadrant 2 because when I go back a little for a little value of x, I'm in quadrant 2. Now let's see what about pi plus x again. Again, pi is positive, so I move in the positive sense. This is pi. Now because I have plus x, I keep on moving in the positive sense. And definitely I am in quadrant 3. So again, pi in the positive sense plus x a little bit for an acute angle x, I am in quadrant 3. And finally, sine of minus x. So I have to move just like this for an acute angle x because it's minus x, then I'm moving in the negative sense and I am here in quadrant 4. Now let's apply the idea of all students take chemistry. In quadrant 2, sine is positive, so we put it sine x. In quadrant 3, sine is negative because only the tangent is positive, so we put it minus sine x. And in quadrant 4, sine is negative. So that's why we are going to put it like this. Sine of minus x is minus sine of x. So the answer of sine of minus x is minus sine of x. And we have a minus sign outside. Minus into minus will give me plus sine x. So again, here in quadrant 2, sine is positive. In quadrant 3, sine is negative. And in quadrant 4, sine is negative and a minus sign before it, then it is plus sine x. Now cancelling the opposites, so the final answer is sine x. Let's erase these and move to another example. D here is equal to 3 cosine pi plus x plus cosine 20 pi minus x minus cosine pi minus x. First of all, we have to decompose if there are large numbers and see if there are even numbers and so on. So here I have pi plus x, nothing to decompose. Here I have 20 pi, I cancel it because it's even, and here I don't have anything to decompose. Now let's use the help of the circle again. I want you to be so confident about solving these examples and these exercises. Now again, here is pi, and don't forget, here is the positive sense like that way, and that way is for the negative sense. Now I need to move pi plus x. Again, pi is positive, so I start moving that way. Pi plus x. Where should I stay? Should I go back or I have to continue? Of course I have to continue in the positive direction. So again, pi in the positive direction and complete in the positive direction. So pi plus x. I am here in quadrant 3. Okay? Now let's see about this. When 20 pi is cancelled, all what I have is minus x. Now how to move minus x? Let's remember. We move it in the negative sense, acute angle x. So we are in quadrant 4, and finally pi minus x, we move in the positive sense for pi because it is plus pi. Now because I have minus x, I go backwards to the in the negative sense. So I am definitely here in quadrant 2. And now let's use the idea of all students take chemistry. So in quadrant 3 only tangent is positive, that's why cosine is negative. Okay, in quadrant 4 cosine is positive, so I keep it cosine minus x, and then I'm going to change it into just cosine x. Okay, in quadrant 2 cosine is negative because only this sign is positive, so that's why I put it minus cosine x between the parentheses. And finally I get minus 3 cosine x. In quadrant 4 it is cosine x, and minus into minus it is plus cosine x. Now adding the positives together we get 2 cosine x minus 3x will give minus cosine x.